want y'all
I
to
am
tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
Order,
am
will.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a
Chairman,
child.
I am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr.
we
Chairman,
can
the
do that.
committee is not
Okay.
in order.
And you guys see what Jasmine Crockett, who we love and adore and is outstanding, is young, black, female, has broken through many a ceiling to get to where she is and is a member of Congress and probably one of the literally ass-kickingest, most eloquent, smartest members there. Anybody see what she did to Nancy Mace? You remember Nancy Mace? Nancy Mace was the woman who, and was I think she may have been the first woman to go to the Citadel. So she broke the ceiling too. And she ran as a moderate Republican back in the day. And on the day of January 6th, she was interviewed on the news. And like other Republicans who ended up voting for impeachment, especially ones who'd been in the military, Pete Meyer comes to mind. She was outraged, horrified. Oh my God, how could Donald Trump do this? We're really going to have a reckoning. We're going to have to, all over the place. One of the few days I've watched cable, she was everywhere. Right. And then when she realized that Donald Trump was going to challenge her in a South Carolina primary, she changed her tune and became an evil, awful, nasty, hypocritical, just scum. She, of course, was one of the ones who turned against, with Matt Gaetz, who turned against Kevin McCarthy, which we don't care about. We only mentioned that she was in league with Matt Gaetz, a guy who every time he talks, his forehead seems to grow. And of course, never will be attorney general in his life. He's got a great gig at OAN and or whatever it is. Really solid channel there. In any case, Nancy Mace pretended she was a woman of principle. And of course, she lacks any because she is just like the rest of her party. Again, leadership comes from the top. And she looked up at the leaders and said, I'm going to do what they need me to do. So she needed to win that South Carolina primary. So she became a maggot. And she started attacking all sorts of moderates and anybody else who wanted to find a path to work with Democrats on anything. And it all came to a head more recently where she decided that she was going to make, and again, I hate this. I don't know if I can say this say this word on here. So let's call it tans, on tans issues, okay? About tanning. She didn't want she purposely, so she could stick out and she could get support from the worst reaches of our party, the most bigoted, just disgusting, one brain cell, like needing a sponge bath very badly, kinds of members of our party. She wanted their support. So, we got to make sure that there's a bathroom for men and a bathroom for women. Like she made this a deal with everything else going on out in the world with climate disaster and things going on in California that started before California, but still with, issues of kids being shot in schools, with all sorts of the terrorist attack by ISIS in North New Orleans. Now she's worried about bathrooms, and it's about one member who's elected who she does not want to allow in the women's bathroom. So tans. That's all she could talk about. She can't shut up about it because and Jasmine Crockett called her on it yesterday. First of all, have you ever seen Nancy Mace walking around the Capitol? Like, did you ever see that picture of her in that sort of weird dress where her legs looked like two pogo sticks? Is there something wrong with her that we should know about? Is she doing something to herself? Is she harming herself in some way? And I'm sort of half serious because there's something wrong with her because those didn't look like legs. As I said, they looked like pogo sticks. And am I being mean? Yes. Does Nancy Mace deserve it? Yes. I don't feel bad. But I digress just a bit. So Nancy Mace was in committee and they're having a hearing and Jasmine Crockett is there. And Jasmine Crockett struck out against her and said, well, I know some people in this committee desperately need campaign funds. So all they can say is tans all the time. But listen, child. And she called her child as in child. And that's just an expression, as we all know. But when you're a Southern white lady, you don't accept an expression like that from a black woman. Well, you're the one who gets to call them child, right? I mean, God forbid she call you that. So Nancy Mace blew her spadoinkle all over the place and started screaming out, don't you call me child? How dare you call me child? I've broken more glass ceilings than you have. No, you haven't. You broke that one at the military.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all
I
to
am
tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
Order,
am
will.
please.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a
Chairman,
child.
I am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside, we
Mr.
can
Chairman,
do
the
that.
committee is not
Okay.
in order.
All right. Order.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order.
Think about everything that Jasmine Crockett, as a young black female lawyer, had to accomplish. And if you acknowledge anything of your South Carolinian roots, there's probably a 50-50 chance that your family going back long enough may have owned people like Jasmine Crockett. So you benefited a good chance from their labor, and Jasmine Crockett's family had their labor stolen from them if she's from this country going back far enough. I don't know both of their histories, but do not acknowledge, yeah, she's going through a hell of a lot more than you, Nancy Mace, you clown. So the clown who sells out all of her principles and has the pogo stick legs decided that she would, yell at her and scream at her, "Oh, Nancy Mace," and Jasmine Crockett, you don't know who you're talking to. I've broken ceilings. I'm not scared of you. I mean, she's just yelling all sort of random crap back at her, and she didn't realize who she was dealing with. We know who Jasmine Crockett is. Remember the 6 Bs? We even have a T-shirt, by the way, if you want to check out the merch store where we have it on a shirt.
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
I got to make sure I get them right because I always forget them, right? Bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Bleach blonde, bad built butch body. That was fantastic. And of course, that sent MTG spiraling and losing her mind. That's who Jasmine Crockett is. She knows how to hit back. She's not one of these older folks in the Reagan crowd. She's like, oh, are Republicans going to hurt me? Are they still really popular like Ronnie was? No. Jasmine Crockett kicks butt. And so she's done it to MTG. Why would she be scared of Nancy Mace? So she basically sat there as Nancy Mace said to her, tried to say to her, and again, this is who the Republican Party is. She's like, you want to take this outside? She actually said that. A sitting congresswoman said, do you want to take this outside? I thought maybe next we get some cool pre-Civil War stuff. Maybe there'd be a duel. That's Nancy Mace. White supremacy in a bottle or in pogo stick legs. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think everything is racism, but I think a young black woman questioning this woman from South Carolina who served in the military, came from a long family, I believe, in the South, she wasn't going to have any of that. So she lost her mind. She challenged her to a fight outside. And of course, then they started calling for order. But the key here is that Jasmine Crockett did what she does. She stood her ground, didn't give in to Nancy Mace one bit. She called her out for the scumbag she is for attacking a group of people and cruelly trying to go after this group of people and make them your punching bag. And then she turned Nancy Mace into hers. And just disrupting their ability to speak about issues that are important to this country because, well, she needed to be able to do her thing and, raise money on going tans to tans. And so Jasmine Crockett called her out for her bigotry, mocked her. I don't know if the child thing was on purpose or not. It is an expression. Got to Nancy Mace, which means it was a good job. And the end result is Nancy Mace was made to look like a fool, humiliated. I mean, her own party was telling her to shut up because she started yelling about taking this outside. I guess she thought it was January 6th again and she gets a redo. That time she was on the wrong side. She actually said Trump was wrong. She was like, wait, do-over. I get to call one do-over. Backsies. I want to be part of it. And maybe she could join some of the other sick folks who served in the military and attacked the seat of our capital for the first time since the War of 1812. Yeah. Well, you can't attack our capital because you can't even defeat Jasmine Crockett, who owned your ass. So keep going, Jasmine. We're all here. We got your back.